The Heart of Stone, a tale of the Chola Empire in the lush, verdant landscape of 10th century South India. The Chola Empire stood as a towering colossus, a beacon of power, art, and ambition. At the heart of this empire, in the bustling city of Tanjore, the construction of the Brihadiswara temple was underway, a monumental project that would leave an indelible mark on history. But amidst the grandeur and glory, three individuals found themselves entangled in a web of personal struggles, moral dilemmas, and forbidden knowledge that would challenge the very foundations of the empire. Meet the characters. 1. Arachne, a young, gifted temple sculptor from a small village, secretly disillusioned with the glorification of war and the rigid social hierarchy. 2. Ilongo, a hardened, veteran soldier, loyal to the Chola Emperor, Raja Rajwai. 2. He believes firmly in the empire's strength and its divine right to rule. 2. He carries a secret burden from a past battle that haunts him. 3. Devaki, a Devadasi, temple dancer, known for her grace and her sharp intellect. 3. She possesses forbidden knowledge about ancient Tamil texts that could challenge the established power structures. The construction of a legend, the Brihadiswara temple, was not just a temple, it was a statement. A testament to the might and majesty of the Chola Empire. It was to be adorned with intricate sculptures and frescoes that would immortalize the empire's victories. Arachne, with his deft hands and keen eye, was chosen to sculpt a crucial panel depicting one of the Chola's most famous battles. The opportunity was a dream come true, but it came with a heavy price. Arachne's village, a quaint hamlet nestled among the rice fields, had always been a place of simplicity and peace. The constant war campaigns and the rigid social hierarchy of the Chola Empire often seemed like distant echoes. But as he chiseled away at the stone, the glorification of violence gnawed at his soul. He dreamed of creating art that reflected the beauty and struggles of ordinary people, not the bloodshed of battles. The mentor and the burden, Ilongo, a high-ranking officer overseeing the temple construction, took Arachne under his wing. Ilongo was a man of honor, a loyal soldier who had seen the worst of war. His devotion to the Chola Empire was unwavering, but it was a devotion built on a foundation of deep-seated trauma. The memory of a past battle, where he had witnessed unspeakable horrors, haunted him. As he guided Arachne through the intricacies of sculpting, he began to see glimpses of his younger self in the young artist, a self that had once questioned the empire's righteousness. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the temple's half-finished walls, Ilongo shared his story with Arachne. The Battle of Kandla, where the Cholas had faced a formidable enemy, had left him with more than just physical scars. It had shattered his illusions of war as a noble endeavor. "I saw men, boys even, fall like wheat in a field," Ilongo whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I saw the Emperor's divine right to rule turn into a mandate for bloodshed. But I couldn't turn away. I was bound by duty, by loyalty." Arachne listened, his heart heavy. "But why, Ilongo? Why must art be a tool for propaganda?" Ilongo sighed, his eyes reflecting the weight of his past. "Because, Arachne, the empire must stand. And for that, it needs a narrative. A story of invincibility and divine favor." The dance of prophecy meanwhile, Devaki, the Devadasi, moved gracefully through the temple's halls, her every step a prayer, her every gesture a story. But her mind was elsewhere, consumed by the ancient texts she had discovered hidden within the temple walls. These texts, forbidden and dangerous, spoke of an impending doom, a prophecy that foretold the Chola Empire's collapse. Devaki was torn. On one hand, she knew that revealing this knowledge could mean her death. On the other, she felt a burning desire to use her intellect and influence to change the course of history. The empire's rigid hierarchy and the glorification of war had always grated against her. She saw the pain and suffering of the people, the toll of constant conquests, and the erosion of their culture. One night, under the cover of darkness, Devaki confided in Arachne. "The empire is not what it seems," she said, her voice low and urgent. "There is a prophecy hidden here, a warning that the Cholas will fall if they do not change their ways." Arachne's heart raced. The idea of using his art to challenge the status quo was both exhilarating and terrifying. "What do you want me to do?" he asked. Devaki placed a hand on his shoulder. "I cannot do this alone. We must work together to expose the truth." The crossroads of fate. As the temple neared completion, the pressure on Arachne intensified. The court factions, powerful and influential, were keen to ensure that the artwork glorified the empire. Arachne's artistic integrity was put to the test. He began to sculpt panel that subtly depicted the lives of ordinary people, farmers, artisans, and women tending to their children, amidst the grandeur of the Vethathiri. It was a risky move, one that could cost him his life. Ilongo, aware of Arachne's struggle, found himself at a crossroads. His loyalty to the empire was being tested by his growing doubts. He watched Arachne's work with a mixture of pride and fear. "You are challenging the narrative, Arachne," he said one day. "But is it worth the risk?" Arachne looked at his mentor, his eyes filled with determination. "It is, Ilongo. The empire needs to see the truth. The people deserve a voice." The forbidden knowledge of Vethathiri, too, was facing her own battle. She had to decide whether to reveal the prophecy to the emperor and the court, or to keep it hidden. The risk was immense, but the potential to save lives and preserve culture was even greater. She sought out Arachne and Ilongo, her heart pounding with anxiety. "The prophecy is clear. The empire is on the brink of collapse. We must act now." Arachne and Ilongo exchanged a look. They knew the dangers, but they also knew the importance of their actions. "What do you propose?" Ilongo asked. Vethathiri took a deep breath. "We need to create a counter-narrative. We need to show the people that there is more to life than war and power. We need to use our influence to bring about change." The final act, the day of the temple's inauguration, was drawing near. The court was abuzz with anticipation, and the emperor himself was expected to attend. Arachne, Ilongo, and Vethathiri knew that this was their moment. They had to act. Arachne's panel was the centerpiece of the temple's art. It was a masterpiece, but it was also a rebellion. The emperor and his courtiers stood before it, their expressions a mix of awe and confusion. The panel depicted a Vethathiri, but it also showed the everyday lives of the people, their joys, their sorrows, their struggles. It was a stark contrast to the usual depictions of triumph and conquest. The emperor, Raja I, stepped forward, his eyes narrowing. "This is not what I asked for," he said, his voice cold and stern. Arachne, standing beside Ilongo, took a deep breath. "Your Majesty, this is the truth. The people are the heart of the empire. Without them, there is nothing." The court erupted in a cacophony of voices, some in support, others in vehement opposition. Vethathiri, her heart beating wildly, stepped forward. "Your Majesty, I have something to show you." She led the emperor to a hidden alcove within the temple, where the ancient texts were stored. "These texts, Your Majesty, speak of a prophecy. The empire will fall if it does not change its ways." The emperor's expression darkened. "Who gave you permission to reveal such things?" Vethathiri stood her ground. "The truth, Your Majesty. The truth is more powerful than any prophecy." The aftermath, the events that followed, were a whirlwind of intrigue, politics, and personal sacrifice. Arachne, Ilongo, and Vethathiri faced the wrath of the powerful factions within the court, but they also found unexpected allies among the common people and a few enlightened nobles. Ilongo, haunted by his past, finally found the courage to confront his own demons. He spoke out against the brutalities of war, advocating for a more compassionate and inclusive approach to governance. His words resonated with many, and slowly, the narrative began to shift. Arachne's art became a symbol of resistance, a reminder that the empire's strength lay not in its military might, but in the hearts and minds of its people. His panel, once a point of controversy, was celebrated for its honesty and its humanity. Vethathiri, despite the danger, continued to share her knowledge. She became a voice for change, inspiring others to question the status quo and seek a more just and equitable society. The legacy of the Brihadeeswara temple was completed, a testament to the Chola Empire's architectural and artistic prowess. But it was also a monument to the courage of three individuals who dared to question the narrative. Arachne, Ilongo, and Vethathiri had planted seeds of change that would take root and grow over the years. The Chola Empire, though it continued to face challenges, began to evolve. The rigid social hierarchy softened, and the glorification of violence was tempered with a new emphasis on culture, education, and the well-being of the people. In the end, the empire did not fall as the prophecy had predicted. Instead, it transformed, strengthened by the voices of those who dared to speak the truth. Conclusion: the 10th century Chola Empire was a time of immense power and artistic achievement, but it was also a time of moral and ethical dilemmas. Arachne, Ilongo, and Vethathiri, each in their own way, navigated the complex and pivotal moment in Tamil history. Their story is a reminder that even in the shadow of great power, the human spirit can rise to challenge and change the course of destiny. As the sun sets over the Brihadiswara temple, casting a golden glow over the intricate sculptures and the graceful dances, one can't help but wonder, what other secrets lie hidden within these ancient walls, waiting to be uncovered and brought to light.